go.
Because howdy, y'all, and welcome to Texaswatch for the week of Tuesday, February... what is this? What's today?
Today's the 11th.
It's the February 11th, 2020. I'm your host, Project, and joining me, as always, the Tracer Man with the biggest brain, Zay XL.
Oh, man, good to be back again for another week. We just had the homestand this past weekend. We got to see quite a bit.
I lost my voice.
Yeah, he did.
I am trying very, very hard today, folks.
But yeah,
can you hear it?
You can still hear it a little bit. You want to talk about somebody that was yelling? You talk about somebody that was yelling all weekend. This dude lost his voice almost before we got into the arena. It was the whole time.
Hey! In my defense, we were jamming out some good tunes on the way up there.
We were very true.
And it was like, okay, well, we want to talk over these tunes. Cause for real though, I don't think we've been able to have a road trip where we just stay silent the entire time.
No, no, we never have actually. The moments of silence will be pretty brief. All of a sudden, let's talk about this now and how this is gonna happen. Always analyzing and breaking things down. Adjusting the camera a little bit, looks like.
Bada bing, bada boom,
like that. There we go.
What's up? How we doing?
But no, it was a fun time though, man. It was a great time. Good to see. I guess I thought it was on. I could move that a long time ago. I guess.
Okay, look. Forgive me for this bedroom production, folks. We had a studio space set up before, and it just didn't work out.
The setup was, I guess, maybe not worth the effort. I don't know, especially if you can get it in here with the same kind of setup, which pretty much what this is. And plus, got a little bit of background and stuff. We did move the camera down, but still got the blue. We got the green and blue.
You can't see the flag anymore.
Yeah,
crap. It's cool.
This is the Texas flag with the Dallas Fuel logo on it. So there you go.
Yeah, because the fuel run Texas right now.
Nah, for right now.
I said right now. Did you not hear me say right now?
Just right now. With the Battle of Texas coming up, though, we will see. We will get our revenge.
But speaking of, man, why you gotta throw me like that? How am I supposed to transition off of that? This is Texaswatch. You can catch the show right here on twitch.tv/Texaswatch every Tuesday at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time, because Texas time
is bestest time.
If you can't catch us live, don't worry about it. You can look us up on podcast services like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Just search Texaswatch. You can listen to the audio version there, or go on YouTube, also search Texaswatch, and guess what? You'll find us there too.
You'll find us there.
So if you want to, maybe check us out a little bit later, maybe on your commute to work or drive home, maybe while you're going on that Stairmaster, climbing up 500 steps. Bro, that thing's a workout though, for real.
You know what? Do it. I'm not a big elliptical Stairmaster fan, but it actually is a workout when I've tried it. Plus it's easier on your knees and stuff. I know supposedly supposed to do that. I prefer to run. But I'm like, man, this can't be that hard. You're just doing an elliptical or whatever. Or just doing the stairs. Holy shit. After like 30 minutes,
you're done.
You're like, oh my God. My quads are on fire.
I can't even imagine doing a Stairmaster for more than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes in, I'm like,
yeah.
It's just so much, man. But
I tried to trick myself. I can do this for like 30 minutes. It wouldn't be that bad. It's just like not even really moving. After it was about 10, 15 minutes. I was like, holy shit, this is too much. I can't do this.
Yeah. But we know you guys aren't here to listen to us talk about our exercise. We're here to talk about some Overwatch League. Last week we had the opening weekend. There were 2 homestands, one in Dallas, one in New York. Mm-hmm. We were at the ones in Dallas.
Of course. I mean, let's pay for my tickets to New York. I will gladly go. Anyone?
Hey, that New York homestand looked hype as hell.
Yeah, the New York one in the theater, that was pretty cool. It had the theater with 3 levels and everything. I wish the Dallas one would have had that, but it did what it could for the event center, because it was at the Esports Arena in Arlington, right?
Which I do have to say, I'm actually pretty impressed by the Esports Arena. I didn't really have any expectations going in, and the screen was amazing. Mm-hmm. The audio was really good. I do kind of wish that we could have had the actual bowl style like we had at the first homestand.
Got you.
Because whenever we would try to cheer, it would be like, I hear people cheering to my right, but because they're cheering forward, I don't know what they're saying.
Right, and plus we tried to do the whole burn blue chant, right? We kept trying to do, but usually at stadiums it works where it's the left side and the right side, you can hear the echo part. But the way they tried to do it was like the front and the back. So it was weird because if you're in the front, you say burn. No, you say blue, we say burn, but the people in the back can't hear us say burn because we're yelling it that way. So they're like, I think they said it. Okay, let's do blue. So it was weird, but the turnout seemed really good, especially on the second day, on Sunday. Turnout was really good. It was a fun experience, too. And obviously, we got to hang with our field crew. which is I'm an honorary member of.
Jackpots, how we doing?
Which I'm an honorary member of, I guess. So
you are a member. Don't give me that. Don't give me that. Just because you wear that ugly ass green does not mean you aren't one of us.
Well,
okay?
you know, no. And I was fair. I split it amongst both days. I had my Fuel on Saturday, my Fuel jersey, and then I put on the Outlaws jersey on Sunday. So I did play it fair, and I did root for the Fuel in enough to make sure I was part of the crowd and rooting them on.
Rooting for them enough.
I was rooting them enough. You know, so I wasn't hindering. I wasn't booing. And actually, the Fuel fans, I mean, for the most part, I mean, you can see the Outlaws on my jersey. No one really said anything about it either. So as far like, you know, talking shit. No one really was talking shit about it.
I feel like people would have talked more shit if it were Houston was playing. You know, like, if Houston isn't playing, oh, you're a Houston fan. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I don't have a reason to hate you this week.
Yeah. so as fellow gamers, we're both gamers, we're just not going to hate you this week. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
And there actually were a few Outlaws people out there, too, that we saw. Like, small groups, small pockets of us. Obviously, the Shock fans were there. The bandwagoners.
Actually, no.
All you Shock fans are bandwagoners.
So, here's the thing, right? You know that group of girls that were sitting on the right that they were screeching.
Oh,
right?
The Screechers, yes,
so
the far right.
I rewatched the VOD. Those were the same Screechers from the Blizzard Arena.
Really?
They came all the way to Texas to cheer for SF.
So they're actual groupies that follow the team around. Wow, how far has esports come?
I mean, how far has Sinatra come?
I guess Sinatra, true.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I was like, wait, look, because I looked at it, I was like, those girls look familiar. Hold on. And sure enough, same ones back in Blizzard Arena.
What?
Yep.
And they're just Shock fans, right? So they're just Shock. Okay. Wow. I wonder if they're gonna follow them everywhere. You check for everybody. I mean, if you're gonna far as Texas, I mean, they might as well. They're probably go to New York, and they'll probably go to the other one. So
it wouldn't surprise me to see them go, like, actually be the type of fans that do follow them around. Because I mean, that happens in real sports too, or traditional sports. I always want to say T sports and E sports. But
I like you say real sports. I was like, this is a real sport. Everyone gets triggered.
Of course. Well, I've noticed it's happening a lot less recently. I feel like now the esports has become more of a normal thing, I guess. People understand what it is.
Right.
I mean, I still have plenty of friends who are like, oh, how was your week? Oh, wow, yep.
Here come the beer burps. Classic Project beer burps.
They'll be like, oh, yeah, what'd you do this weekend? And one of my friends, I was texting her about it. And I was like, oh, I was at an esports event in Dallas. And she's like, oh, that's cool. What did you play? And I'm like, no.
Give him the look like,
this was a spectator event.
Yeah. So they said, when was the last time you went to a football game? Did you play? Did you go down there and throw some passes and catch the ball? I didn't think so.
Can you imagine? They'll be like, oh, yeah, I went to a football game. Oh, what's your position?
Exactly. That's exactly what it sounds like. It's like, I didn't play. But see, you don't even think about that, right? But in fairness, in esports, you can't really assume the way anyone looks, right? Because you can either be, maybe you're out of shape, maybe you're in shape. Like, you know, like Poco's a pretty good shape. But then you have
guys like Logix who are big dudes.
Yeah, exactly. So in fairness, it's easier to tell. Like, you could be able to tell, like, one of us, we're not NFL players. We're not 6'4", like 250 pounds. So you know, when we say that we went, we didn't play. So maybe that's the only defense I have for this person. But aside from that, it's kind of a dumb question, to be honest.
But what was it? I actually went to HEB before I came here. Bless HEB.
Yes, we're back in HEB land.
Quick aside. If at the Houston homestand we do not hear HEB chants, I'm gonna riot.
Yeah,
I will start HEB.
Because you know, when you saw the way Dallas was advertising favor so hard, right? So you know when HEB advertisements come on, they're going to be there. They're going to have the chant.
Yeah. I'm actually looking forward because, like, I feel like HEB is one of those companies that is real. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I'm assuming you mean real in the sense that they are just a quality company.
Yes, they're a quality company. They care. Mm-hmm. They're not just shilling. Like Walmart, I think, is the prime example of the polar opposite, where all of their ads are pretty attractive people with quick service, and everything is snappy, whereas in reality, you go to a Walmart.
It is a shit show.
It's dank, it's gross, it's like...
people, no offense to people who shop at Walmart, but I mean, I've gone there a couple times myself, so I have to consider this too.
I still shop at Walmart. If I want something super cheap, I'm gonna go to Walmart.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just like you see some gross things in there and gross people sometimes. It's just like, oh, what in the world's going on here? So
welcome to Walmart.
It could be a shit show, but you'll never notice that from the commercial. So
and like with HEB, the employees, like almost every single HEB employee I know, genuinely likes their job.
Oh, absolutely. I think, and then, plus they get I don't know if they still get stock in the company or something like that, but I think they have some kind of incentive or something.
Damn.
Like, yeah, like there's something you can sign up for. I think you do make a little bit less because of it, but you get some kind of stake.
Stock, dude.
You get some kind of stake. So in the company, so like that's really good. There's a quality company does that. So yeah, that's a great thing that we're sponsored by HEB. Technically, y'all are sponsored by HEB due to favor.
Thanks, Daddy HEB.
Daddy HEB, Papa HEB is doing all the work.
It's like Howard something, but what's the E? Emery.
I don't know. I know it's Here Everything's Better is what they.
That's what they rebranded
branded it, right? But it is the
dude's
dude's original name. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know what it is though. How long has it even been around? It's been around for like.
As much as I know, HEB has been around since Texas has been around.
Yeah, right. As far as you know, right? I'm pretty sure it was around when I was a kid. It's been around for like since the 80s.
Probably
70s.
Earlier than that.
You think so?
Right. I would say 70s.
I love how this got to a topic about HEB.
I mean, like, I'm willing to say this on air. I've been thinking about it, and I kind of like the idea of our show being a lot less of a super structured. We're gonna talk about this topic and this topic. Let's just drink and have fun.
Yeah, and plus too, especially when it comes to even podcasts, I know we do this live too. That's what most of them are, right? They do have some structured segments, but for the most part, it is just the person talking about whatever topic it may be with the co-host or whoever it is.
Right.
So.
If I wanted to have a structured podcast, I could, and I might in the future. Who knows? I mean, Project is always working on a project.
That's kind of why his name, Project. Name checks out.
Yeah. But for now, let's do a quick recap of the weekend.
Okay.
Maybe...
Oh, I can do one too. Real quick. You lost.
Oh! Hey. Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. Yes, the Dallas Fuel are technically 19th. Yes, we have a -5 map differential. Is it -5 or -4?
So you guys went 3-1. So that's -2.
3-1 both times.
So it's -4. Yep.
Yeah,
so you're
so
2 maps down.
We are only 19th to the London Spitfires 20th. However,
you are defeated.
Yes. However, one thing that we have to keep reminding people about is that 19th number is only temporary because we literally have over half of the league that hasn't played yet.
I know. It's just funny to kind of.
Oh, I'll let you pick your fun, and then when the Outlaws also go 0-2, I'm gonna pick same fun.
We gonna see. I don't think so. I mean,
y'all play Florida and Washington.
So we're probably gonna lose to Washington.
Yes.
Maybe. I don't know. I have a lot of faith in Harsha.
On the Scrimbuck exchange, apparently stocks are getting traded in the Washington Justice right now. They're up. They're up. So, sorry.
Yeah, well, they said that about the Valiant, and they were only halfway right, I guess, because remember you were mentioning that everyone was high on the Valiant Scrimbuck's train, and they did end up winning. But then they turned around and lost to Vancouver.
Well, so according to some of the other analysts that I listened to, in scrims, the Los Angeles Valiant are second in scrims, only to the San Francisco Shock.
Really?
Which is interesting. But scrims don't matter. Multiple coaches will say it's not about scrims. It's about what happens on stage.
Exactly. And that's the same thing in any other sport, too. What you do in practice is great. So that's what in other sports, too. They say that you're just a gamer. Like, there's some people who don't do well in practice or they don't seem that good. But when everything's on the line, they know when to perform. Mm-hmm. Which I can see what the Valiant kind of did. Like, we were talking about McGravy and this diva play, which made Notes look like shit. We're going to get into some of the decisions of what characters were played by the Fuel's tank line in a bit.
I have some thoughts.
But no, I think to talk about the other teams, I think McGravy really showed out. Longtime contenders player. Looked really good on stage. Very comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
For a lot of contenders players, you'd think that they'd have a little bit of nerves going up there, especially the teams that have swapped over that and had a lot of people that have come into the league from contenders. No nerves left at all. The Valiant got booed. McGravy was actually, remember when he was just like, come on, keep the booze coming.
Yeah.
Give me all the booze. So he relished it. So I was impressed by that. I was impressed. Granted, he has been playing the game for a while. I'm sure he's super comfortable playing at this point, but still to be on stage in a hostile environment, they perform.
I do want to say for any listeners who do not know who McGravy is, he is a off-tank diva specialist that previously played for Team Envy, the Dallas Fuel's contenders team. Why the Fuel didn't pick him up? Well, I think that's actually, he got released after we signed Note.
Which makes sense because they thought Note would fill that same role, right?
Which
it makes me wonder. I wonder if McGravy in the back of his mind was thinking, like, I'm going to show them why they should have kept me instead of Note. And he proved his point.
Yeah.
he proved his point.
Let's jump into the weekend, right?
Okay.
We're going to skip the stuff that we did that didn't involve the games, but I do want to talk a little bit about the whole homestand as a whole.
Okay.
When we got there, the games hadn't even started yet. Doors open at like 9 a.m.
Yeah, 9:30 were when the doors opened, and we didn't get there when the doors opened this time. Not for this homestand.
But it didn't really matter, to be honest, because they were running like a mini convention so in the esports arena in Arlington, there are like 2 expo halls. Mm-hmm. You have the core expo hall, and then you actually have the arena itself.
Right.
And in the core expo hall, they had like a mini con. They had food places. They had sign making stations. We got to meet Gaku Space, the voice of Genji. The man sounds exactly like Genji. It is insane.
He does. Project got his "I Need Healing" poster.
Is it in frame? Oh,
it's not in frame, but it was. But he did get the Genji voice himself to
Audio
sign his poster.
I'm sorry you can't see this, but it's super cool. So they had like a little commemorative poster, and I got Gaku to sign "I Need Healing" because
he always needs healing. Yes. Genji always needs healing, right? Just pocket the Genji. He's always in trouble.
And so there was a bunch of fun stuff going on there, but it wasn't really much that was pertinent to the Overwatch League. They actually had, what was it, high school thing the first day?
Yes. It wasn't even a high school thing. It was it was just kids in general, I think. So I think it was probably like 16 and younger or something. So I don't even think it was high school. It was a Smash Brothers tournament.
They had like a Smash tournament. They had Fortnite. They had Overwatch on the stage. So, I mean, they had some cool stuff going on.
And they only had Overwatch the second day, right? Because on the Saturday, it was just Smash Brothers tournament, I'm pretty sure.
What was on the big screen? Do you remember?
It was Smash. Yeah, on Saturday. On Sunday, it was the college Overwatch thing. Right. But on Saturday, they just had them playing Smash. Yeah, Fortnite. And it was one of the games that they were playing that I can't remember. But, yeah, it was a really kids-based part. I mean,
cool.
It was cool. Personally, it was okay, I guess.
Well, we have to remember Overwatch is a game rated T for teen. Like, this isn't like COD or PUBG where it's hyper violent. Mm-hmm. So yeah, let's bring in the children.
Yeah, and then for people who watch this show or this podcast, know where's the first place we went or looked for as soon as we walked in. I was looking for the beer, so I walk in and we realized that they did not sell any alcohol until the event was closer to getting started.
Which, like, I distinctly remember looking around like, wait, why does it say no beer in the... Okay, that's weird.
We went into the expo, or like the second hall, I guess, expo hall, like you were talking about. We went in there, and then went to each concession stand. There was no beer, and we see signs in front of the expo hall. We just got, I guess we missed them walking in that say no alcohol beyond this point. And I was just like... You should know us, guys. I mean, if you watch the show live or if you just listen to it on podcast, what do we always have on every single show?
A beer.
There's beer. And sure enough, we walk in, and that is not the case when we go to the expo hall. So, of course, what do? We go in, buy beer, and tailgate outside, which was fun. I had a really good time tailgating.
I hope that for the next home stands, the weather is a lot better. Mm-hmm. Because I would love to have like a legit tailgate. We partied with the Fahrenheit 214 crew. What's up, guys? Happy to share the beer with you guys.
Yes, it was a good time.
We just missed hanging out with Taimu, which
yeah. What was he out there? Yeah, that's right. They talked about he was already out there. That's right.
He was out there hanging out with the guys, just chilling.
Yeah.
But we also wanted to get like real food. But enough about the pleasantries and the extra stuff. Let's talk about the games.
Okay, let's talk about the games. Sorry, we're over here telling about our experience. It was a good homestand. Overall experiences outside of the games and watching them themselves. It was fun. It was a fun weekend.
Fun. I do miss how it was last year where you had 4 games a day.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's not for everybody.
All right, says guy who has 5 homestands this season. So sorry, you only got 2 games this time.
Right. But so on the first day, there were 2 games. We had the Los Angeles Gladiators versus the Vancouver Titans. I only really want to bring that one up just because it was really interesting to see the new Titans.
Right.
With Fisher at the helm.
Yeah.
They performed pretty well.
They did.
And then you had the new Gladiators, and I'm a little disappointed that they only played OG for 1 map, but it was great seeing him come on stage because the entire arena erupted. OG was a main tank player for the Dallas Fuel last season. He was traded at the end of the season to the Los Angeles Gladiators, so he received a warm welcome when he returned back home.
Yeah, and that was good too. I mean, it looks like the Fuel fans remember what he did and how important and passionate he was. He felt on the team.
He was integral to our winning for the first half of the season.
Yeah, I mean, they even showed clips during the homestand weekend of when he had, cried and the fact that they had won on stage in Dallas for the first homestand. He's a big part of the branding and what Dallas was about. So, excuse me. Gave me the burps. He's pushed it over here. Damn it. Usually doesn't get to me. But no, and that was really cool to see. That was awesome.
So that game went pretty well. It was a great warm-up game. And then we got to the real meat of the day, the Los Angeles Valiant versus the Dallas Fuel.
And
this was interesting because this was a new Valiant.
Yeah, the Valiant, a lot of their players are contenders players, so they've shuffled their roster quite a bit. But their DPS duo is insane.
And KSP.
KSF and KSP. I meant to look up if they were related with the KS part. I don't know why that's the case, but I'll look at it later. Anyway, but I think they are somehow. That's like a thing. But anyway, so yeah, KSP literally popped off that entire game.
No one shut him down either. KSP is their hit scan specialist.
Yeah.
So he was playing characters like McCree, Widowmaker. Did he play Tracer at all?
He did not really. He switched to Tracer for certain, moments and certain situations. Yeah, but that's about it.
But his Widow was it was nutty, and
yeah.
So part of me is like, I get why the field didn't really contest him, because Dallas was running a interesting double shield comp,
double main tank comp.
Because usually with double shield it's like Sigma and another shield, but this time it was Reinhardt and Orisa. And after listening to coaches talk, listening and just watching the VOD again, double shield makes a lot of sense against Widow.
It does, but I guess they weren't. They were very, I guess, they were trying to play compact, right? They're trying to play as 6 players. When you do a double shield, you want to stay close together with the May and the Reaper, and you just want to be this death ball kind of thing, right? And supposedly, once you get presence on the point or the objective, you're very hard to move because there's 2 tanks, and it's hard to get close in there to take them out. But what kept happening is that KSP just kept getting these. If you pieced your head out or anything, you just kept getting these kills.
I legit thought he was aimbotting. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude.
Yeah. We were at the place, and you were like,
"How is he this good?" I haven't seen a Widowmaker hit shots like that since Carpe.
Yeah, I mean, he was just on fire, and his McCree as well. Because what they started doing was because of the May Reaper, right? Because McCree is a good counter to Reaper, because if you can flashbang him, you can right click him like everyone else before he fades away, or headshot him from a distance before he can get close to shotgun to you. So when they started running that as well, the Reaper really didn't work. And I don't feel like, I got to talk to Arrow on this one. There really weren't that many adjustments that they made, or they made the adjustments too late. And we saw later on in the match itself after halftime, when they actually put Note on his hero of Diva, which he's known for, when they actually did that, the match got a little bit closer and more interesting. But as long as it's Ryan Orisa and you had Note on Reinhardt, which he's not very good at, then they tried Zarya Reinhardt with Note on Zarya, and he took him a whole round to get Grav. It was a rough day for Note, in my opinion.
My biggest question when it comes to the coaching decisions is why no swapping? With a game like Overwatch, right? DPSs, you expect them to be swapping all the time. There are so many of them. Strategies can change in an instant because of that.
Right.
But with the tanks, one switch changes your entire strategy. So they clearly had a plan in mind with this Orisa Ryan strategy. And Trill's Reinhardt is pretty good.
Yeah,
he popped off plenty of times.
And they pulled him out because he was initially it was Gamsu and Trill on the control map. And I believe it did well, I think, right? Then they took him out.
Note didn't get subbed in until Horizon.
Was that map 3?
That was map 3.
I thought he was on map 2 as well. Was he not? Maybe. I thought.
I don't recall. We can.
We can check the VODs. Yeah, we got a screen for that too as well. So if you want to check that out. But I want to say the second map we can definitely check. But I don't know why you put Note on the Reinhardt. Like, granted, I believe Note's he's a good player. Obviously way better than us here. But put him on as comfort hero if that's what you're going to run. Now, like you mentioned before, was changing the DPS and stuff. I think your tank line gives away your strategy, right?
Of course.
If you've got a Winston Diva, you don't really have to see the DPS. You could expect a flanker character to come out of nowhere because you're running dive. Your tanks give that away. If you have Orisa Reinhardt, you probably have 2 DPS heroes that are very steady, are very like a Mei, a Reaper, very solid. That's hard to move. And that happens. So every time they see them run Ryan Orisa, they're like, Widow's like, sweet, I'm just going to just sit here and just hang out. And eventually, someone's going to peek out of this shield. Yeah, someone's going to peek. And I was like, hit my shot. That's it. So that's what kept happening over and over again. And I just don't know what Arrow was thinking there, not having some kind of strategy to fix that until Note came in on the Diva and it actually, stuff happened.
I think the strategy to fix it was, guys, this strategy works. Let's just keep hammering at it. And to be fair, like, you have to think about, like, on the macro level of Overwatch, right?
Right.
You have 5 minutes to capture a point. Mm-hmm. If you have a strategy that you know works, just keep hammering at it, and eventually you will get ults, and eventually you will take it. But the problem with it is the Ryan Orisa tank line in particular is a very finicky ultimate line. With Orisa, you have a supercharger, right? Mm-hmm. An amazing ultimate, but the supercharger is incredibly weak.
Yeah, exactly.
Fast forwarding to the second day, we're going to talk about this in a second. But if you remember on the first control map, Gamsu got his supercharger, placed it down, and then super immediately destroyed it.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
yeah.
I was like, shit. That's literally like all that time charging that up wasted. Granted, he did require super to come onto point and put himself in a negative position.
Right.
But that's still like all that's just wasted. So, again, we're not coaches. We're not professionals. We're just dudes that like to drink and backseat analyze.
Yeah, but we do have common sense. I think. Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
We make some bad decisions sometimes, but that's okay.
But, like, I don't know, man. I don't want to sit here and like, dwell on it too much because there's lots of great that happened in that game.
There was. Decay tried his best to carry y'all, and he was like, Jesus Christ. Because dude, I just love watching the 5-2, him and KSP. But I think the Valiant did a much better job of when Decay switched to Widow at certain points. Because he's like, look, okay, we can't do this, guys. I've got to challenge this Widow because it's a problem. Decay switched to Widow, but then McGravy was like, it's time to go Widow hunting, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so anytime Decay had even a slight position advantage or was trying to get sight lines, McGravy and the other Widow would just, McGravy in his face, and then KSP would be, just waiting for him to jump away and he would get shot. They did a really great job of it being more of a 3-on-1 against Decay, and Dallas, due to their tank line and doing this whole double shield thing, really had no answer to get to KSP with that kind of, aggression. Really, all they had to worry about was one other Widow, and that's it. Right. And Decay had to worry about the whole team coming after him.
The Fuel right now are in a very interesting position because this is the first season that we've had 2 superstar DPS. Mm-hmm. If you remember, when the Gladiators had Decay, he was a great DPS for them. Mm-hmm. He just usually sat behind Surefour, who's a legend in the game.
And plus he sells more tickets, let's be honest. Surefour sells tickets.
It's a fact. And like now that we actually have great DPS, Crimzo is going to continue to start. I think because a little bit of tea, some juice for you.
Some juice?
Unco didn't know, and this is just from what I understand, Unco didn't know if his contract was going to get renewed. So there was a small point during the offseason where Unco removed all of his Fuel signings and like his banner, his Dallas Fuel thing in his bio on Twitter.
Right.
All of
Which
that.
is fair. I mean, if you know that you're going to be there, I mean, you would hope that your player has a little more faith that you're going to re-sign him and you keep it until he actually gets released, then does it. But I feel like Uncle would be that kind of dude. He'd probably be like, yeah, fuck this.
Right. And then he got re-signed, and then he got sick again.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the second time he got sick. And granted, human bodies are different. Maybe he's a bit more frail. He gets sick easier. I don't know. But the fact that he was sick again is like, come on, man. Like, what's going on here? I'm a little worried that we might not see much of him, and it would suck because his Zen play is amazing.
Right.
He is one of the best Zens in the league, in my opinion. But I think I'm looking through a little bit of blue-tinted glasses, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and I think we haven't really been able to see how Uncle works with, these two kind of DPS, right?
Because this is a whole new team.
Right, and so it's hard for me to say he's one of the best Zenyatas because he was good or at least decent, but then the Fuel were kind of in a state of disarray a little bit, and then he's been getting sick, so we haven't been able to see much of him lately. For all we know, he could be washed by now. I mean, we don't know. He's been playing for a long time, too. He's up there with the AKMs and stuff, like, the Harry Hooks. Uncle's been playing this game for a long time. You don't know. So maybe Crimzo could be a better player for them at this point, but we'll see.
With Closer, too, there was a stat that the casters said about Closer that I didn't know, that he has one of the highest survival rates as a support.
That's interesting.
Do you know how important that is?
Yeah, well, yes, exactly. You're the last one. Yeah, you want your support line to stay alive to provide support, right? So
knowing that, it's like, Closer has a lot more value than I thought he did.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty happy about that. And Crimzo has proven himself. He has grinded contenders on Team Envy for years. And now that he's finally got to the big stage and he didn't choke.
Yeah,
he didn't choke.
Yeah, they played well. I think because that's what kind of gets me about the whole matchup against the Valiant. I don't think it was so much that the Valiant had better or more talented.
Sorry, audio listeners. Zay just knocked his mic off of the stand. It'll be a second before he gets back into it. Long story short here, the game against the Valiant was really eye-opening. Because we got to see two things. We got to see the Valiant actually can play. I was expecting them to be complete trash with a entire new roster, and then we got to see the Fuel actually perform. We have good DPS, we have great supports, and we have a pretty good tank line. People don't give Trill enough credit.
All right, I think I'm back. Okay.
Sorry about that, Connie. We see you in chat.
Snap, my bad. Wake up, listeners.
I'm really looking forward to the rest of this season because Gamsu being tilt proof. Do you know how important that is for our team?
Yeah. Well, Gamsu is like he's a stonewalled, the stonewalled hero, right? He just knows how to, rally the troops when situations are bad, keep things together. But my point I was initially trying to make before I knocked over the entire set was that I think this is all coaching. I get Arrow's a coach of Team USA. I get that he's a well-renowned and stuff. You got to come with something better than what you came up with against the Valiant, and all you can run is two main tanks.
Oh, with that, I'm really curious because Coach Young, the new coach from Element Mystic, he's our new strategy coach.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he has some kind of insight into holding on to these two tanks.
Or two double shield tanks or something like that?
We don't know about.
Because when I came out with that, when I saw the note on Reinhardt and it was not a troll, I was like, what? It's like, are you kidding me right now? Gamsu played me.
That was the point that I wanted to make. Sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Do you watch or follow Sideshow on YouTube?
Yes, I do.
Have you been keeping up with his post-game player interviews?
No, I've not seen those.
So he interviews almost one player from each team after every game.
Okay.
And he interviewed Note.
Oh, really? And please, I hope Note explained what happened.
He didn't explain what happened, but Sideshow is really good at just being direct. He openly told Note, like, with hero pools coming up, we're going to be expecting to see more players with more flexibility. And in the past, straight up to Note's face, you haven't been that flexible. What do you plan on doing? And Note was very candid. I know I've been a Diva 1 trick for a while. I've been practicing other heroes. I'm going to do my best. I want to learn. And I was like, okay, that's what I want to hear.
That's good, but learning doesn't equate to wins. Learning's always good. But while you learn, we need to get some W's in the process, I think. And in that case, because you can't bench Gamsu, because Gamsu, it's clear at this point. It's clear at this point, Gamsu is the team leader. He may not be the captain, but I feel like he is a stabilizing force amongst them.
He is also for me buying his jersey this season.
Yeah. Also closer as well. When they talked about, I believe just while we were there, they were showing videos and stuff of like, the fuel behind the scenes and everything. They were talking about the new players that they brought in. I mean, Crimzo. Sorry, not closer. I'm going to say Crimzo. Players that they brought in. And these are, Crimzo, someone's been playing the game for a long time. And I got a lot of the sense that people liked being around him on the team.
Yes.
Y'all have gone from the most toxic team in the league coming in with the XQCs, like the most, all that stuff, to now y'all have a solid roster of, it seems like, good players who wants to play for each other.
Absolutely.
So that's a definite turnaround. So we'll see. But I think they're really put in a bad position with their strategy for the game against the Valiant, in my opinion.
So to quickly warp this from the Valiant to the San Francisco Shock game, I don't want to linger on this game too much. I feel like we learned more from the Valiant game than the Shock game.
Yeah, y'all just got wrecked.
But we took a map off of them. And I think
some Junkrat play.
One thing that the Shock have is clutch potential. So I actually analyzed this game, took a bunch of notes. We're going to look over those in the post-show because we want to talk about Houston for a little bit during the core show.
Yep.
But the Shock are the most clutch potential team in the entire league. If you remember watching them last year, they are so clutch. They will be down 99-0 on control, and they will clutch it out, go from 0 to 99, and still take it.
Yeah, it's just each of these players on the Shock through all six can be explosive is what really gets you with them. Striker can pop off for like, whatever, like 5K or something. Sinatra can just come on a Doomfist randomly and get, 4 kills, 3 kills. Choi Yobin comes in with like some kind of huge bomb or something. Let's not forget that they have Rascal subbed in. He can play any hero on the freaking Cavs. So he'll like, it's insane. So each one of these players has it. A Moth can even, as Lucio, start popping off. Like all these players have pop off potential. There's no player there that's just like, yeah, they're good, but that's it. They're just a stabilizing kind of thing. Like, that's what I'll say about Gamsu. Like Gamsu's really good, but I don't see, he doesn't have that pop off potential. But he's a consistently very good player, above average tank. So, but that pop-up potential for them, like Super, we're going to talk about, he has that ability as well as just Reinhardt, just all of a sudden to get a 4K for some flank shatter or something.
Absolutely.
So that's what I think, like to your point, that that's what makes it so clutch. Because you don't know who it's going to be this time. That has the huge play.
It'll be anybody. Like, what is it? On Control, the control map was lost all because of one nano.
Yep. Yeah,
all because
that's right.
of one clutch nano. And
is that a nano striker with McCree? Oh my, that was like
it was impressive to watch.
Being in the crowd for that. We were just being in the crowd. Everyone's like, yeah. Oh
no!
Because like you're cheering because they had like 4 kills. So if you stay for the post show, yeah, we have to watch that clip. I want to watch that again. No offense to Fuel fans.
It's okay.
I want to see that again. So like, yeah, we were watching it. I should remember being in the crowd. It's one of my favorite. I hate to say it, my favorite moments because everyone's like, yeah, we have 4 kills. And all I see is the Anna died and Nano Striker, and then he's McCree, and it's just boom, boom, 2 kills. Everyone's like,
oh no,
and then
they flipped it back, and then took it after that.
Some random person came in back. I don't know if it was Moth or Toy, but someone else flew in and got a 3rd kill. So we were like, oh shit. It was insane turnaround. I was like, wow, that's how much pop-up potential these guys have. So it was fun. It was fun to watch the Shot game.
I do want to say the fact that the Fuel took a map from the Shock. People weren't expecting that.
That's true.
People were not expecting
that. Broke the streak.
Broke the streak. And second, we hung on. If it weren't for that nano, we would have won map 1.
Yeah. That's true.
So we would have gone to a Game 5 against the former champions. The team that everyone is putting near the bottom of their power rankings, taking the former champions to a Game 5? Granted, it didn't happen, but the fact that it almost did is something to talk about.
Right, and it's still very early, too. Now, we'll say I do have a caveat in all that because they did sub out Sinatra.
Yes.
So for the last two games, the last two maps, they took out their best player. So granted they were close, but if this was a match that I feel like was a stage playoffs or something like that, or stage finals, y'all would have to deal with Sinatra a little bit more. Because I believe 2-0. It was 2-0 at halftime.
Yes.
And it took out Sinatra. Then you guys won the third map, and then they won map 4. So yes, I think it's good. But regardless, playing against the Shock and playing it close is really important.
Yes.
But excuse me, if they, in my opinion, not to throw shade, if Sinatra was in on map 3, I think they 3-0 you. I really think they do. But it was still a great showing. It looked like they were competent. I'm glad they adjusted and actually started playing different tank lines against the Shock in the second half. But
apparently the Junkrat thing was a surprise because they expected them to play Symmetra.
For the Shock expected.
Yes.
Okay, the Shock expected the Fuel to play Symmetra.
No, the other way around. The Fuel expected the Shock to play Symmetra because on Horizon Lunar Colony, with that huge ass opening in that long sight line,
you just teleport. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, we'll make sure they don't set up a teleporter. And that's exactly what happened.
Right.
So you know what? That was a good game. I am really proud of our boys. Mm-hmm. But when you talk about the other green Texas team, for half a second, you guys,
we're not defeated. Nor do we have any wins. So we're on we're still 0-0.
The Houston Outlaws played 2 teams this weekend. Mm-hmm. And I'm really curious to see these games because both of these teams we don't know really anything about.
Exactly. So guys, go ahead and break down, see, because I don't know at this point the teams are playing who's on their rosters at this point, right?
Well, we know we're playing the Florida Mayhem,
right? Florida Mayhem, and then the second is the Washington Justice,
right?
The Florida Mayhem have really revamped a lot of things. It's like they revamp all the time.
Well, they've had to. I mean, from poor management to a near toxic work environment, from what I've been told, to things getting blown up, to deciding, you know what, we're trash. We're going all Korean. Sorry, Western players.
Well, yeah, I mean, all teams kind of did that. Like the Outlaws, we've switched it up. We were the All-American team, and it didn't get us too far. It worked initially, season 1. We wouldn't go by that far, but that's it. So we've switched up our roster. We've got obviously Dante Hydration coming in, Blase. So it's going to be interesting. I'm really curious what Harshaw does with this roster because we have a lot of flexible players, especially between Dante and Hydration. Muma can play every main tank. We've got Meko, who was on a championship, basically quality team before, and can bring that into the Houston Outlaws.
Who was the starting roster that we were talking about in the car? It was Hydration, Dante,
and then
Muma,
Meko, and then we said,
and
Jexay. Yes. So that's the projected starting lineup. You got the Fuel one right, I believe, when we saw them come out. So the Fuel one was pretty obvious.
Right should be a hashtag because I'm often right.
He likes to tell himself that, but it's not true. But no, you were right about that, and I think that's going to be the lineup for the Outlaws, unless there's some kind of thing that's happened since then.
We don't know. They have enough players to flex around.
Right.
They have 11, right?
Yes, we do now. So, and we're a lot more flexible team because we have money. We have a new owner who's willing to put money.
Nice. It's got to be nice.
And I think so too, that this owner, we're not owned by Optic anymore. The Outlaws are its own entity. So, well, I guess kind of, because
they're their own team.
Yeah, their own team that doesn't have like Envious, who has to kind of spread out resources and stuff. This guy just wants all in on the Outlaws. So I think we'll have a lot more support from the front office side. I think it's going to help us out a lot. I think we're going to have a really good lineup coming in. I think we're going to surprise some people due to our flexibility, which is going to help with the hero pools, and the fact that I have a lot more faith in Harshaw than I do Tyrog as a head coach. So we will see.
Well, you have faith in Harshaw because he's coached championship roster.
Exactly. So you get a championship coach, like a championship quality coach who's done it. You're like, hello, thank you. So, and then you have the players who I think all together, would work well together and are very flexible. I love our flexibility so much more than I did last year.
Y'all didn't have any last year.
Exactly. So I think coming into the Florida game, I think it's going to be interesting because, like the Valiant, no one really knows how good they're going to do, how well they're going to gel. There's a lot of unknowns there.
Well, did you get the roster put up? I saw you were trying to take a look at it.
Yeah, let me go ahead and take a look.
Yeah, because the Overwatch League app has been very weird. I think that's partially due to the fact that they had to cancel all the Chinese games. I don't know if you've looked at the schedule yet. Literally, like the entire Pacific Conference was supposed to play in China for about a month.
Really?
And now they don't. Dallas doesn't play again until March.
Wait, really?
We don't play again until March 7th.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So it's like, okay, well, what now? This show is going to get real fun on these weeks where neither of our teams play.
yeah. Even for right now, for me, it's not loading.
There you go. The app has been very weird, and it's like, I mean, I get it. You got to do what you got to do. Activision Blizzard is putting player safety over their profits, and I applaud them for that. It's nice to see them not listen to their shareholders for once.
Yeah. Okay. I think
maybe they are, and the shareholders are like, well, we just don't want to get coronavirus, but whatever.
Which is a fair assessment to make, right? So it's something that you don't want to have to pick up because it's getting worse. Anyway, so let's go ahead and see if I can get their roster pulled up.
So we know Saya Player is going to be their superstar.
Saya Player, they have Fate now too on the main.
Oh right, I forgot they have Fate as the main tank.
They have Fate as the main tank, and there are a lot of unknown Korean players I'm seeing on here that I'm not very familiar with. I believe Yaki. Have you heard of him?
I know. So it's Yaki, Gangnam Jin. Who
Fate,
else?
Saya Player. So I'm trying to pull it up, but it's loading super slow for me right now.
The point that we're trying to drive to is the Florida Mayhem are a new team. They have new coaching staff, new colors. By the way, they're fresh.
Yeah, although they finally leaned into the Miami Vice thing they should have been doing a long time ago.
Because Overwatch League finally let them.
Yeah, it should have.
Remember in season 2, they were like, "Please, can we have a color change?" No.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, but. The McDonald's colors are ugly.
It's like, right. And it's like, this is totally like not our brand. Like, this is not what we wanted to do. It's like, and it's nice to have, well, I guess they do have some black in their colors, but another black and red team or the black team, like, come on, let's do something a little bit different here.
Right. So now they are black, pink, and purple, which I'm okay, or black, pink, and blue.
Yeah, but the color combination, because it's a theme kind of thing that fits that place, which is the best thing you can do. Like the Outlaws have the Astros jerseys, even though we're green. I don't know. Houston teams are all over the place when it comes to team colors in traditional sports. There's no uniformity at all. Dallas has all blue and everything, and Houston's just like, we want red, white, and then we want some green. They want orange for the Astros with some blue. So it's all over the place. Bringing us back full circle with the Florida Mayhem. Aside from their jerseys, they're an unknown. So absolutely. I think for our team too, everyone on the Outlaw is pretty much known in the Overwatch League scene, right?
Because you got Jex. Who did Jexay play for previously?
I forgot what team. I want to say, was it the Uprising? Was it Boston?
Was it
Blase was Boston.
Blase was Boston.
Jexay
had Hydration was from the
Gladiators. Right. So we have like a kind
Mecca was from Nixel.
Yeah. So everyone knows there's a lot of film on our players. There's not a lot of film, at least as far as I know, for the Florida Mayhem players. So you won't know if someone's playing like, Genji, whatever, or some kind of random comp, but like, how good is this person on this hero? Right. We all know how good Dante is on the Sombra or the Tracer, Hydration on this Doomfist or the Pharah. So that's been scouted. So
this is what I'm really curious about for the Houston games, because they're, I don't want to say suffering, but they have a similar outlook to their season as Dallas does, where they have a few core players that have been on the roster for a while,
right,
that how they play, with about 4 new players.
Right.
And then the Outlaws are the same thing, with Muma and Dante being the previous core, and then everybody else is new.
I'm really curious to see how well Muma and Meko gel as a tank duo.
Absolutely. Especially because Meko previously... Does he speak English?
I don't think so. We have a translator and everything else on our team. But this is why I have faith in Harshaw, because a coach, because he's done this before on teams that have had to gel. So he knows the process for this. He knows how important that communication is, and he'll get that ironed out. So I have a lot of faith that hopefully won't be an issue. But Muma plays a specific style of tank. Muma is a very passive tank. He doesn't die very often.
But that's what you want as a tank.
Exactly. He doesn't get a lot of super kills, I guess you could say. He's not like, super who goes in like that and puts a lot of risk on himself. Muma gets out all the time. As a Winston, is extremely hard to kill. And I think that actually gels good with Mecca because what was the New York Excelsior's play style? Very passive. Very wait for you to make a mistake. Wait for you to come in, do something stupid, and then we kill you. So I think that tank line, if they can work that out and kind of have that similar play style to what Meko's used to and Muma staying alive, we're going to have a really good front line. And that gives space for Dante and Hydration to do their thing. Right. And they can swap to we're one of the players that can swap to any hero in the damage category. So I think I'm optimistic. I'm very optimistic that we can be really good this year. But I just don't know enough about Florida to be like, yeah, we're going to blow them out. I think we'll win. I think overall my prediction is that there'll be a win. But I don't know enough to be like, oh, yeah, it's going to be a 3-0. Like, it's going to be as easy. Because it's always those teams that you don't know a lot about, like the Valiant, you didn't, and that come out of nowhere and you're like, oh, crap. They're actually kind of really good. So that's my take on that game. I don't know enough about Florida and how that team's going to gel, but I have a lot of confidence in our tank line is really good. I mean, our DPS are solid. Our support line is still kind of Jexay and Repel they're good. They're good. They've proven before. They've both been on Overwatch League teams. They've proven they can play in this league. And they're solid. So I see no reason why our team can't be a top half team, if not, the top third. That's my hope, obviously.
Of course. We're fans. We're going to hope that.
I'm trying to let my logic seep through, not my fandom, and be realistic about what we're going to do this year. Just a little bit. But I think we can be good. Obviously, San Francisco shock level, nah. Probably not going to happen.
I don't know really anybody other than New York. And I don't want to say Vancouver because they didn't look perfect this weekend. They looked very beatable.
They looked very beatable. I think the Twilight sleeps, dude. Oh my god, that dude. Yeah. Twilight is insane. Like Sinatra deserves the MVP, obviously, but Twilight was popping off and showed why he was probably, in my opinion, number 2.
Who was the flex support that got the Rookie of the Year last year for Vancouver? It's escaping me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It's Vancouver's flex support.
Yeah.
Not Repel. No.
We're drawing blanks, guys. It's the beer.
The point is I'm looking at the Outlaws right now, and I have faith in this new roster, but I have a lot of question marks.
Yeah, I mean
a lot of question marks.
Yeah, well, I think I have, like, I once again keep saying it, like, Coach Harshaw, like, this guy knows what he's doing. Right. So I really hope that he can put this together because I think the talent's there. We don't have explosive talent like the Shock do, who are the best team in the league, which I probably shouldn't compare us to. But a team like the Titans, I think we can be in that category. Yes, they have stars, MVP quality stars, but I think we can hang around in that group with that star power. Okay. That's my initial assessment. So we'll see. But my overall take is I think that we beat the Florida Mayhem in a 3-1 style.
Okay.
I think that's I think we'll be able to do it. I think it'll take us one map where they may beat us or may control or something, but we'll figure it out. I think we beat them 3-1. And then we go on to the Justice game.
And that one has a lot of...
Yeah.
Because the Justice, if you remember last season, when Rollock came in, they dominated.
Yeah.
Did they lose a game in Stage 4 last year?
I think they didn't have a perfect stage. They didn't have a perfect because there's only been one perfect stage.
But it was pretty remarkable how quickly they turned things
Corey
around.
And Stratus are insane
Absolutely.
DPS. Because with Rollock, it unlocked the DPS ability, right? Because before... Yeah. Anyway, sorry. So it unlocked the DPS role because now players like Corey and Stratus on the projectile, Corey on the hit scan, they just go. Corey's Widow was insane. Stratus's Pharah is insane. His Doomfist was great. Like that's gonna be tough. I think Dante and Hydration have it in them to do it, but that's gonna be tough.
And Washington, as far as I know, is also a mostly fresh roster as well. They picked up a lot of contenders' talent.
They did. From we've seen, contenders' talent is good. Obviously,
shout out to Miss Liz. I follow her on Twitter. She's an Overwatch analyst. She very frequently was like, "Hey, stop sleeping on contenders and like listed every contenders player over the weekend that popped off.
Yeah, I mean contenders almost sometimes is more fun to watch than Overwatch League. I'm not gonna lie, contenders they have some crazy strategies.
They try more shit.
Yeah, they just go all out. It goes balls to the walls. We're gonna try this and see if it works. If it doesn't, whatever. So
it's contenders.
Yeah, exactly, contenders. And the coaches are much more free flowing. Like, dude, let's just try this, guys. So there's a lot of good players down there, as we saw with the Valley, and I think they're one of the biggest teams with contenders players that is actually showing out. So. Took Vancouver, it was tough for Vancouver, and they beat Dallas. So they're there. So contenders players can hang in this league. So the justice that makes me even more afraid of them because of the fact they brought up a lot of contenders players. So that game, it's I would probably say we win 3-2.
Are you saying that with your tinted
Don't
glasses?
Ask. I don't want to answer this question. I don't want to answer this question.
Because I'm gonna be honest. I don't think you're gonna beat the Justice. So there is something I'm noticing in the league, and this is only from 1 week, but I'm noticing that a lot of the teams that have gambled on the younger talent are seeming to perform better than those who are sticking with the veteran talent, save for New York XL.
Yeah.
That team, Sabiobi is all I need to say.
Well, all they did was like, we're going to assemble the best South Korean players in the world.
Yeah.
That's literally all they did.
Yeah. But then you also have the polar opposite, where you have the London Spitfire, who also went mostly contenders, and they are the worst team in the league right now.
True. That's why Prophet was like, get me out of here.
Who's he play for now?
The Dynasty.
Dynasty.
My low-key second favorite team. Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing them play this season.
I think they're going to be pretty good. I think they're going to surprise some people. I think the only person left on that team from these original days is Toby from the Lunatic High days. He's the only one left. Yeah. It's a whole new team besides that. Okay. So it's going to be interesting to see how they perform, but we're not talking about this whole Dynasty here. We're talking about my Outlaws. I think they're going to have a tough time. We may even have to, man, if we get a Widow map, we may have to just sub in Linkser to deal with Corey.
I always forget you guys have Linkser.
We do have Linkser. He's very much a one niche specialist, hit scan specialist. But
we saw Havana's in the map pool. We saw Horizons in the map pool. And those are both Widow maps.
And that's what worries me because Dante doesn't play Widow. Hydration doesn't play Widow.
Well, Dante plays Sombra. And
he does. I think that would be our strategy. We go full dive with a Sombra against a Widow pick. But even on a map like Junkertown, that's tough, man. Once you get, outside those buildings and that long way before the point A, like, that's a far jump for Winston to get. They got to go to get that Widow sitting up there on that balcony just kicking it, shooting at your team. It's tough. So you probably have to run a shield, and that's when you need a Widow. You need another Widow to handle that. And so I can see something like Junkertown where we put in Linkster. Because Linkster still played the McCree, and he played a decent Tracer when Tracer was
really? Has he ever played Tracer?
Yeah. Remember we're going back in yesteryears.
Back in my day.
Back in my day when Jake was, Junkrat was still a thing. But when he got nerfed.
Yeah, the Jake Rat.
But then Jake played Tracer. He was our Tracer player. Yeah. We all remember Jake's Tracer. It's not as bad as an AKM blade, but
Jake's Tracer was pretty bad.
Jake's Tracer was pretty bad. So we started to rotate people on that. This is before we got Dante, and Linkster was the guy. So Linkster was our Tracer player. We did best when Linkster played Tracer. Okay. So he can do it. It's just a matter of, can you do it at a high enough level to beat the Justice, which is going to be tough. But I would personally vouch for putting him in there. But we'll see what Coach Harshaw wants to do, because it can be, maybe there's something else up his sleeve that I don't know about, which I'd be happy to see. That's why I'm excited to watch the Outlaws, because I don't know what to expect. We have a lot of veteran players. They know a lot about the game. They've played it for a long time. I think we can do a lot more things with that because the veterans, and we got a veteran coach who won a championship. So from the top-down leadership perspective and strategy perspective, we're fine. Okay. It's a matter of, can these veteran players keep up that level of performance with all this influx of new talent coming in, with Corey and Stratus, coming in, these new DPS hotshots coming in. Can they stay and play at high enough level to be able for us to win? I still think we win 3-2.
Okay.
But it's going to be tough.
You think it goes to a game 5?
think it goes to a game 5.
Okay.
I think we get one of the maps based off of pure strategy. Based off of, we have some kind of thing that they just weren't prepared for or haven't seen, and they're not going to know how to break it. I think probably on the Assault map. So that's I'm calling that. If that's Assault map 3, I think we're going to do something crazy. It'll be like 1-1 going into halftime. We do something crazy, and then it goes to 2-1, and they win the 4th map, and we win the 5th map.
All right.
Okay.
Well, folks, I'm going to end on that note because this has been Texaswatch. You can catch us live right here on twitch.tv/Texaswatch every Tuesday, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time, because Texas time
It's best this time.
And if you don't want to watch us live, hey, check us out on podcast services. Give us that little subscription on Spotify, on your Google Podcasts. It really means a lot to us, actually. We're really trying to make a more polished product for you guys. So thank you for anyone listening to us on audio or even on Twitch. For real, all of y'all on Twitch right now, I love you.
Yes, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for being here. We're not going offline just yet. We do have our Twitch exclusive post show going live in just a moment. But until next time, let's make Texas proud.
Yeehaw!